Ladies and gentlemen, here he is again, Jasper Carrott.
Thank you very much. If I was a carpenter, I'd screw to the bed. I thought I try and pick a subject each week, and I thought this way I'd have a go at holidays. I can change it if you like. Because it's interesting how patterns of holidays have changed, hasn't it? I mean, like it all used to be Blackpool and the South Coast resorts, and now it's all abroad, isn't it? And it's changing again now because it's getting so expensive. And a couple of years ago, I mean, it was so cheap to go abroad, wasn't it? I remember one year we went to Ibiza. Oh, you've been? Oh. It's in the Balearics. It's very cheap, to go out there, because we went from this travel firm in Coventry, because like travel firms like a couple of years ago cutting each other's throats, getting it cheaper and cheaper, and there was this travel firm in Coventry called Contours. And, yeah, we didn't realise either at the time. And they did this 2 weeks in Ibiza all in for £4. Yeah, it was all right. You flew out on a BOAC 111 Tiger Moth. Stopped a couple of times, picked up wood. And I remember it was like there was about 14 of us on the plane, right? It's like a 6-seater. And I'm sitting next to this fat guy, right? Because he's panicking, because he thinks the plane's going to crash. There's always one on a plane. It's going to crash! We're all going to die! But a good 6 foot off the water, no problem at all. And he's panicking, and I said, "No, it's all right." He goes, "We're going to die! We're all going to die!" And when they panic, you have to loosen the clothing. That's a St John's ambulance trick. And like I was undoing his tie and his shirt, and there was a couple of birds sitting behind, you see, and they got in on the act. Cut a long story short, anyway, within about 3 minutes he was naked. He was still panicking. If you'd have seen the birds, you'd have known why. And anyway, the plane was rocking on, and I thought, well, I better go and do something. So I went and got the stewardess from out under the pilot. And she came down, she said, "This bloke's in, we're all going to die!" She said, "Good heavens, isn't he in a state?" Because they all talk like that, isn't it? No. "Isn't he in a state?" I said, "Yes, he is." She said, "I tell you what, put his head between his legs, it always works." And he was really fat. Like 6 of us had to sit on him. He was raving. "Shut up, it's doing you good." He didn't realise he had a fag in his mouth at the time. And we flew into Ibiza, and the courier was there, like, to greet us. And he informed us that the hotel wasn't quite ready, you know, and would I mind sleeping in the concrete mixer? And the food was a knockout when you caught it. I don't know whether you do know Ibiza in any great form, but, like, there's an old town, and it's called Ibiza Old Town, and it has this fantastic restaurant, terrific French restaurant. I know it's Spain, but it was a French restaurant. And I was sitting there one night, eating my escargot. That's tuna fish. And sitting next to me, on the next table, was George Harrison. Ooh, impressed, huh? Well, he wasn't actually sitting, I mean, right at the next table. There was a bit of a gap between the tables, as it like a road. The restaurant across the way, but it was the next table, you know. And he was sick to death. You know, people kept coming up to saying, "Hey, George, is that Jasper Carrott over there?" Have any of you been to holiday camps? Because nobody goes to holiday camps anymore, do they? Yeah. Do they? Yeah, they do. Yeah, of course they do. Yeah, what's the matter with it? Because that's where I started off, in many respects, at a holiday camp. And it's interesting because I was trying to find the camp, and I bought a town map, and the town had completely disowned the camp. Really, you can't find it on the map, you know? And you can soon spot it because there's like this 12-foot-high barbed wire fence. Gun turrets every 40 yards. It's going, Achtung! Holiday camp! And I went up to the gate, and the first people I met were the camp security, right? And that's not such a good thing. I never really fathomed out why they didn't have someone else to me, because the camp security were pretty frightening. There was about 200 of them at this camp, and they had a combined IQ of about 4. And they all wore insignia on their arms to show how clever they are. And like, if they got 3 stripes, it means they could read and write. If they had 2 stripes, it means they could either read or write. And if they had 1 stripe, it means they knew someone who could read or write. And they put you up in these chalets, right, which are like converted chicken hut things, like all with standard equipment. Every holiday camp has the same standard equipment: a bed and a bucket. Right? And you use the bucket more than the bed. Well, it depends how your looks go, really. And right at the bottom of everybody's bed is this giant speaker. It's like about an 8-foot speaker. It makes that thing look like a thimble, an immense speaker. You think, what the hell's that there for? Yeah? And you find out 6:30 on the first morning. This is the camp radio. You all get up immediately and enjoy yourselves. We have ways of making you laugh. Bloody right, breakfast. Sausages like sparrow's legs. The chef, Crippen. He was a knocker. He was an unfrocked Marine. And he'd had his taste buds shot off in the war. And the camp had given him a job. He was brilliant with plastics. He was amazing. He invented this substance called polystewed steakathine. And we made a fortune selling it to the local skating rink as ice hockey pucks. But the thing is, when you know, if you just walk around, everyone at the camp is there for the same reason, right? They're all I don't know what it was, but they were there. You have to be careful because all the guards came around the chalets 12 o'clock every night. Come on, open up! You got a girl in there? Shh. No one is. There's no girl in here. Hang on, we'll get you one. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Shama, Hare Rama. Isn't that lovely? That was banned from the radio as well. Because Hare Krishna, there's a lot of controversy about this particular song. Hare Krishna is, in fact, a Hindu pre-marriage ceremonial song. And it was written in Wolverhampton a few years ago. because they're having a lot of trouble with the sort of Hindu people who were growing up in the area. Because in Hindu land, when people got married, they didn't have any choice in their partners. They were told who to marry by their parents. But when they came to live over here, of course, they came across our system, which is somewhat different. We can have a choice. And the Hindu lads started to grow up, and they thought, well, that's fair enough. They'd like to choose their own bride-to-be. But, of course, the parents were very much against it. And there was almost family riots, you know. Terrible. And in the end, this bloke wrote the Hare Krishna pre-marriage ceremonial song to try and sort things out a bit. And what happens is, the bridegroom-to-be and the bride-to-be, who have never met, and who has, the bride has been chosen, obviously, by the two sets of parents. They've never met, and they give him a chance to say whether he wants to marry or not. And they don't give him a lot of time. They wait till the wedding day, and about 2 hours before they're due to get wed. And they allow the bridegroom and the bride to meet in a room. And they go through the Hare Krishna pre-marriage ceremonial ceremony, and the bridegroom can then decide whether he wants to marry the bride. It's a two-part ceremony, and they sing to each other. Hare Krishna. Now, Hare is a Hindu word stemming from the Welsh and English languages. In Welsh, it's Hare you, or in English, are you. See? Are you? Hare you? Hare. So Hare actually means are you. Isn't that easy? And Krishna, that's just a Hindu word meaning virgin. So, it starts off and the bridegroom sings to his bride-to-be. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And she sings Krishna, Krishna. And he sings Hare, Hare. He's not too sure at this stage exactly what's lined up for him. So the ceremony goes into its second part, and he sings to his bride. Hare Rama. Yeah. You're way ahead on this one, aren't you? It's a universal term, and usually accompanied by a sign of some sort. Hare Rama, and she sings Rama Shama. Shama's like red hot. And he sings Hare Hare. Isn't that touching? Something you'll be able to teach your children. Would you like to sing that? Oh, smashing. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do then. Tell you what we'll do. I'll make it a bit easy. We'll get all the fellas, you sing the fellas' bits. All the girls, you sing the girls' bits. If there's anyone left out on that, have a word with the floor manager. From the beginning, all the fellas. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, go! There's not many about, are there? There are two girls on the back row singing in harmony. Live as you want to live. Yeah? And the bloke on the front going, Krishna, Krishna! Hare, Hare. Second part, all the fellas. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, go! We're all right tonight, fellas. No problem. It's never happened before. Never happened. It did once in Leeds, and I got beaten in the rush. Hi. Silly song, isn't it? Oh, dear. It's my blood group. I once went to Jersey, and this is a true story, and it was several years ago, and I was sort of in that situation whereby you take any work that comes along. And, yeah, well, entertainment-wise. And I had this phone call, and this bloke saying, hey up, because he was from Leeds, I found out afterwards. And they all say, hey up. Would you like to come to Jersey? Sorry, would you like to come to Jersey? But I won't do the accent. And I said, well, I don't know. I said, I'm fully booked till tomorrow. I said, what do you want me to do? He said, well, come out and do this folk club in Jersey. And I said, well, how am I going to get out there? He said, well, we'll fly you out. And I said, and back in? It all depends. I thought, fair enough, you know. I went out, bought a guitar, and I flew to Jersey. Got in there on the Monday night, about 7 o'clock. These two blokes from Leeds were there to meet me. Hello, Carrott, how you doing? And they started showing me around Jersey, because I'd never been there. And drinks in Jersey are very cheap. Well, the shorts are anyway. The beer's a bit expensive, but the shorts, you know, it's about £2 bob for a scotch or something. You know, when I was bunging out 50p's buying rounds. And cut a long story short, about 12 o'clock, I'm as the newt. Hey, I'm anybody. And I'm with these two other guys, and they're not too clever either. And we're very hungry. We're very hungry. And we go to this fish and chip shop in St Helier, right? And we're in this fish and chip shop, and I'm feeling just a bit sort of, bleh, you know, and I popped outside. And the fish shop was on this corner, this crossroads, with traffic lights. And I was watching the cars and the lights. And I don't know if you're drinking people, but there comes a time when you've been drinking, there's a certain stage when you know what you're going to do, but you can't stop yourself. You know, huh? Right. Well, I've always wanted to be a traffic warden. See? So I walked out into the middle of this road, and I got all these cars stopping on green and going on red and going round in circles and holding, and then it was absolute chaos, you see. And I've been doing this for about 10 minutes, and suddenly, rum, rum, rum. Oi! What the bloody hell do you think you're doing? Pardon? What the bloody hell do you think you're doing? I'm directing the traffic in the middle of the road. We've got bloody traffic wardens for that, you know. I said, yes, but they're all in bed, aren't they? I don't know where you'll be in a minute. Go on, shove off. Nasty. So I walked back into the fish and chip shop, and I told her what had happened. They said, blimey, don't upset the police in Jersey. Oh, they'll kill you. Lethal. I thought, really? Yeah. Here's your fish and chips. Thanks. So I walked straight back into the middle of the road, started offering all the drivers fish and chips. Hey, chips, these are the ones with salt on. Rum, rum, rum. Oi! You're not having any fish and chips. You're lethal. Get in the car. It's no use trying to bribe me. Get in this bloody car. All right, thank you very much. Bunk. And we're up. And they drove me to the Nick. It's perfectly true. I said, where you going? They said, taking you to the Nick. I said, what for? You disturbing the peace. I couldn't get my breath. Yeah. You got to think they bundled me out, you know, into this charge room. And I'm sort of standing there like this, you know, trying to keep it all in, you know. And in the corner of this charge room is this sergeant, right? He's about 45 years old or something. He's got one of those really shaven heads, you know, got a little bit tuft of hair there. And he's been in the force like donkey's years. He's seen absolutely everything, right? And he doesn't even look up when I come into the charge room with these two guys. And he said, what you got there? He said, it's this bloke, Sergeant. He's been directing the traffic in St Helier. Oh, have you? Yes. What's your name? Jasper Carrott. Oh, comedian, eh? Yes, how did you know? Number 5. And anyway, I was just grateful to get my head down, boom, and out. And I woke up next morning like my head was, oh, you know, like my teeth itched. You know? And there was this great big policeman. He's going, Carrott! Oi, Carrott! Oh, shh. Want some breakfast? Oh, is it free? Yes, I'll have 2, please. Oh, comedian, eh? You're very good round here, aren't you? And there was this Scotsman in this cell opposite to me. And he was furious. I mean, he hadn't done anything wrong, apparently. And he was... You dirty screws! You filthy screws! You come over here, I'll sort of pull up you around here, get your head in it, sitting around here, put your boot and sit up and get them to you, Jimmy! Morning. What bloody good about? Nothing at all, you Sassenach! And the policeman coming in, he said, all right, shut up, jock. Here's your breakfast, Carrott. Oh, dear. Maybe plate of grease, you know, and a mug of tea. And this Scotsman got it, he just threw it up against the bars. Filthy mutt! Dirty screws! And he got up his tin mug, he's like, you dirty screws, you filthy screws! I thought, I've got to do that. I've seen that in the movies. You dirty screws! You filthy screws! I wish I'd have drunk the tea first. Anyway, the bloke who was running this club had to come and bail me out so I could go and do his club on the night. And there was all chaos let loose in the town, I tell you. And I was in the newspapers on the front page, you know, rock star causes riot. Rock star. And the club was packed on the night, you know, all these people had come to see who this maniac was from the mainland, you know, directing the traffic over the cliffs. Oh, dear. And it was a great evening. They were terrified of me. They thought I was some, like, Brummie mafia, you know. Laugh! Oh, we sold millions of raffle tickets. He did. I just thought I'd tell you that. I've got a campaign going, you know. I've got a campaign. I wonder if you might join up at the end. I've got this campaign going against blobs on bog doors. Have you noticed that? It's anywhere around the building here. You know, I mean, it used to be easy, didn't it? It used to be like on the... It's not loaded, is it? I've come to cart you away, you know that. And it's true, isn't it? I mean, it used to be simple, right? On the one door was like gentlemen, and on the other was ladies. And like one word was longer than the other. Easy, wasn't it? See, about 7 or 8 points, and it's... Now all you get is like woman blobs and man blobs. You've got no chance. What the hell did it do? Sorry. You always know when you're in a woman's bog. Okay? The writing's that much neater. Well, they've got 2 hands to write with, haven't they? And talking about that, I think that's an appropriate time to wind up for tonight. So I'll just say thank you for coming and good night. Good night. Thank you. I couldn't let you go tonight without coming out to say thank you for being a marvellous audience Now, I know we're supposed to say that, but tonight it's true. And I always remember a comedian called Shelley Berman once said that no matter how funny a man is, without the audience there, it's nothing. And that the audience and the entertainer are in fact the complete act. And I just wanted to say that tonight you were a great act. Thank you.